Mystery Secret Searchers on YouTube. Please subscribe. Don't forget our website, www.mysterysecretsearchers.com. There you can read the e-book, The Bishop's Purse, and visit our online shopping plaza. Mystery Secret Searchers, Season 2, Golden Glory, Episode 78, Generations. So as we return to Glengarry, I think about all the different generations of immigrants and settlers. We have the MacLeods, and we wonder who else knew of John MacLeod's journal or the events he chronicled in it. We think about the Faulkners settlement, the first settlement in South Glengarry, and the relationship of Montgomery Faulkner to the Knights Templar, and the Reverend Alexander MacDonald, and the cursed sword of the clan MacLeod, and the secrets of Carn Island. We think of the Camerons, like Caribou Cameron, and their gold ambitions, and Sir John Johnson, member of the United Empire Loyalists, granting land in Glengarry and his manor house in Williamstown, and his idea of secret tunnels. And who are the 4th, 5th, and 6th generations who know or have information, rumors, or stories from the 1800s about the cursed sword or gold or any other of the events that we're learning about? The Mystery Secret Searchers have discussed many things with the current residents of Lancaster and Alexandria and throughout Glengarry, and we have learned that there are many more secrets than answers hidden within the rich ancestry of the area. In fact, in the map that we find in Eliza Cameron's diary, she lists many significant names and sites in and around Glengarry. She has Alexandria, Breedalbane, Brodie, Archie Peter McNabb, John Bethune, who founded the first Presbyterian church in Montreal and the first in Upper Canada at Williamstown, at St. Andrews. David Thompson, famous explorer and mapmaker of Western Canada, who lived in Williamstown. Of course, Sir John Johnson, who brought many of the United Empire Loyalists from the Mohawk Valley in the United States and New York State to the Williamstown area. Duncan Cameron, partner in the Northwest Fur Trading Company, and his partner and explorer, Simon Fraser. Sir Roderick William Cameron founded the Clipper Ship Line in New York to Australia. Grace Campbell, well-known novelist. Carrie Holmes McGilvery. Somerstown, home of Caribou Cameron. Dunvegan, once part of the Indian lands. St. Elmo, we've learned of maybe a tunnel in that area. Sir Edward Peacock, living in St. Elmo. Kirkhill, where we find two churches side by side. Quigley's Corner, which is now known as Lochiel, named after an early settler. This is where the MacLeod cabin is. John McIntosh. St. Raphael's, first Roman Catholic church in Upper Canada, burned to the ground. Result of the curse? We're not sure. John Sandfield MacDonald, the first Premier of Ontario. He lived near St. Raphael's. Alexander MacDonald, the first Roman Catholic Bishop of Upper Canada. Of course, we know about him. There's another Alex MacDonald as well. Fraserfield, home of Colonel Alex Fraser, one of Glengarry's well-known early landowners and military leaders. Dorothy Dumbrill, author of many novels. Maxville, now home of the Glengarry Highland Games. Lancaster and South Lancaster, where we find the Glengarry Carn and Faulkner's settlement. Loch Garry, the only major lake in Glengarry. Martintown, where there's an old mill established by the McMartins and the Grants. Glen Nevis, another beautiful spot where Highlanders settled. So we have these very interesting places all through Glengarry. We also have songs and poems and stories recounting the history. We have a dirge for the late Bishop MacDonald. The temple was wrapped in deepest gloom as they laid out the dead for the silent tomb, and the tapers were lighted dim, a soft and solemn shadowy light, and the book was opened for holy rite. When they woke, this funeral hymn, he's gone, the spirit is fled, and now we mourn the honored dead. Frail mortals of the passing day, is this your home, is this your stay? Attend the lesson giving, 'tis dust to dust and clay to clay, the friend we mourn from earth away, they welcome now in heaven. 'Twas thus they bore him slow along, with holy chant and mournful song. And there's a few stories about cemeteries and what they call grave humor. It would seem that graveyards are among the last places in which humor is likely to occur. And yet, inasmuch as death is closely related to life, there is indeed a possibility of something akin to humor being experienced in cemeteries, even if it is for more than one reason, as it may be described as grave humor. In the pioneer years, some Glengarians carved memorials from stone slabs common in the area. In Kenyon Cemetery, Dunvegan, there was one that was shaped and inscribed by a local shoemaker. Years later, one of his descendants visited the cemetery and apologetically said that he intended to replace it with a modern tombstone. It seems that he had changed his mind when it was pointed out that the community held the old stone in high regard, not only because of its enduring qualities, but also because it proved that its marker was artisan. In the same cemetery, there is another stone in the shape of a stump of a tree. Clearly, it was meant to symbolize the fact that death in the prime of life may be compared to the cutting of a young, healthy tree. Such gravestones were not meant to be humorous. There's a story about another homemade stone that was not so expertly inscribed. Based on a scriptural verse, it was intended to be in praise of the piety of a man's wife, but not enough space had been left for the final E of the last word. Perhaps because there was little money to pay for another stone, it was erected in spite of this defect. However, as read by most viewers, it left some uncertainty concerning its intended tribute. Lord, she was thin. In another cemetery, there is said to be a stone planned by a man who desired that his customary warnings to sinners be continued after his death. And so he arranged for his tombstone to bear the verse, "Stranger, pause as you pass by. As you are now, so once was I. As I am now, so you will be. Prepare for death and follow me." What he did not anticipate was that someone offended by his warning would add two more lines as follow. "To follow you I'm not content until I know which way you went." There's several dedications to the fighting men of Glengarry. Here's one from Brigadier Lieutenant General Sir James MacDonald. "I beg to state that the county of Glengarry has on every occasion been distinguished for good conduct, and will on emergency turn out more fighting men in proportion to its population than any other in Her Majesty's dominions." And poems of loss. They remember their home Scotland. "They stood to the last, and when standing was over, all subtle and silent they dropped the claymore, and yielded indignant their necks to the blow, their homes to the flame, and their lands to the foe." And a poem by Ken McCrae. "Forbidden tongue, forbidden songs, no wearing of the tartan, their happy days and Highland ways reduced to that of Spartan. Across the sea they would be a place where they might tarry, to live again like Highland men in hills like old Glengarry. The shores of Carolina brought relief from persecution, but there again these weary men were caught in revolution. Son, father died on opposite side, a heavy cross to carry. For tears were shed and men lay dead before they reached Glengarry. When did you die? Where do you lie? I cannot find your story. But know you well that men will tell about your deeds and glory. The cloak of history wraps you round, your memory we all carry, to tell again of Highland men who made their home Glengarry. Of course, some other little stories pop up about living in Glengarry. And there are a lot of nicknames for people who live in Glengarry. And here's just a few. Rory the Alligator, Leatherbark, Big Donald the Blacksmith, the Red Belly Bully Roof, Big Alex the Calf, Rory Back of the Swamp, Honest John, the Bullet, Policy Jim, Squinty Jim, the Groundhog, Little Alex the Common, Sleepy John, Peggy Pink, Perpetual Motion, Alan the Bailiff, Donald Gin, Coil, Oil, MacDougall, Alex the Scotchman, Blue Jay, Dry Dock, Alan the Bear, Duncan Down, Beachfoot, John Rory the Fiddler, Angus Shoemaker, Sheepskin, Donald Frickin, Angus Bitters, Taylor Nuts, Uncle Tom, Alex the Trotter, Potash, Black John the Priest, Johnny Two Thumbs, 3 Cups of Tea, and so on. And another interesting fact about Glengarry was that Glengarry celebrated 2 New Years, 2 Christmases, and 2 Halloweens. This is because of the way the calendar worked. There's a lot of history in Glengarry. A lot from the immigrants who came here, from all the settlers overseas and from America and other countries. It all blends together in a rich tapestry that we call Glengarry. I can't help but think of the magic that is Glengarry. While you're visiting the Mystery Secret Searchers website, remember to check out our online shopping plaza. Great discounts, coupons, free shipping. These are some of the offers you will find at www.mysterysecretsearchers.com online shopping plaza.